alaikum wa rahmatullah. Say Mohammed.
Mr. Hussain.
I'd like to start off by once again congratulating everyone on the start of the holy month of Ramadan. Ramadan, as we know, is a month in which Muslims are required to fast during the entire month of Ramadan. Brother Hussain, what can you tell us about part of fasting in the month of Ramadan?
What type? Like what part?
Like how does fasting start, for example?
It's Sahri, but you can eat at any time before Fajr. So if you do it at like night, eat like a lot or something, so you have energy for the next day, or wake up right before Fajr, like 3 in the morning or like 3:30. Then you have Sahri that time, and then once Fajr comes, then you have to stop eating. So then you go on with the rest of your day.
And as we know, there's a huge, of course it is required for Muslims to fast. It's such a huge thing to fast in the month of Ramadan, Brother Hussain. Even in the months of Shaban and Rajab and Shaban, it's also recommended to fast in those months. But those months are to like get you warmed up. You fast in those months to get warmed up for the month of Ramadan. So even one day in the month of Ramadan, if you miss a fast, it cannot be equal no matter what. You will never get the sawab again. So we know the importance of even one day of fasting in the month of Ramadan. So as Brother Hussain mentioned, you wake up in the morning, you have Sahri before Fajr time, and then after that, of course, you can't eat again until sunset or namaz time.
Yeah.
Yes. So, Brother Hussain, can you tell us your experiences when you're fasting? Can you tell us your experiences?
Sometimes because you don't eat, like you get headaches, but you still gotta fight through it, get through, get a lot of sawab.
Also, what I found is, the first few days that you're fasting, maybe it's a little harder to do, Brother Hussain, during the first few days. But after that, your stomach gets used to it. Fasting also has a lot of health benefits. So fasting isn't something that you fast and it's actually harmful. Fasting has a lot of health benefits as well. There's also a few things during fasting that you can do that would break your fast. Fasting isn't just, you wake up, you have Sahri, and you don't eat for the rest of the day until nighttime. There's things you have to do to make sure things that you do
and cannot
do, and if you do, it will break your fast. Psalm means to keep away from certain things from dawn to sunset only for Allah. Every Muslim who has reached Baligh must fast in the month of Ramadan. Some of the things which are not allowed to do in Psalm are, like we mentioned, eating intentionally. Obviously, eating intentionally, there's a difference between eating intentionally and eating by accident. Brother Hussain, could you give us an example of someone who maybe eats by accident while they're fasting?
If you think it's just like a regular day and you forget that it's like the month of Ramadan or that you're fasting, and you're like, oh yeah, let me just grab a quick banana or something. You go to eat it, and then when you realize that you're fasting, then if you're still chewing it, you have to spit it out.
And for example, if you don't realize you're fasting and you already drank the water, your fast is not broken. If you realize that it was just an accident, inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will still give you the reward for that fast if it was by accident. Obviously, if you eat intentionally, that is the number one thing that will easily break your fast. Drinking intentionally, another thing we went over. Eating, drinking, same thing. You drink, like I mentioned, water, it will still count. Your fast will still count if it was by accident.
But if you know you're fasting, you're like, oh yeah, you drink some water and you're like, oh right, I forgot I was fasting. As like a joke, you still break your fast. You can't.
Also, vomiting intentionally. If you're sick and you throw up or something, and you put food in your mouth and you throw up or you're sick, you shouldn't fast because of course you're sick. But there are certain reasons that if you're required to fast and you break your fast, you're allowed to do. There's valid reasons, then there's not valid reasons. For example, if you break your fast because you're sick or something and you're not able to fast, you can still, it's just a regular fast, you can pay it up in another month. You can pay it up and it will still count. But for example, if you fast because you don't want to fast, then you will, Brother Hussain, can you tell us what you're going to be required to do if you fast, if you have to make up a fast when you just don't want to, an invalid reason?
Either, I think, feed a hungry person, and feed a hungry person, or free a slave, which is probably not possible.
Yeah, so like Brother Hussain mentioned, there are 3 things that you could do. The first thing, to pay it back, first thing is free a slave, which obviously nowadays we don't have slaves, so you can't do that. The second thing is you can fast for 60 days for the one fast you mix, which is, let's be honest, that's impossible. If you miss a day, 60 days, that's severely hard. But the third thing, which is possible, is to feed 60 people. So for example, there's things you can do to buy like packages to feed people during the month of Ramzan. That would make up one of your fasts. So we see the importance of just one fast, that we shouldn't miss it at all.
And also, you can also invite somebody over to your house that still counts as feeding somebody. So
yeah, so because obviously 60 people for an invalid reason. Like I mentioned, the valid, like for example, those are the invalid reasons. For example, if you have to go to school and you have a headache or something, invalid reason.
it's not an excuse. You still have to do it.
Yes, those aren't excuses, but for example, if you go somewhere and you're not home by suhoor time and you try to do it, you try to come back but you're unable to, that's a valid reason. But also traveling is another valid reason for why you could miss your fast. And you could just pay it up normally. Obviously, you still have to pay it up, but it would be normally instead of, like I mentioned, feeding 60 people. Letting dust or smoke enter your mouth.
Smoking.
Well, yes, well, I guess pretty
Or
straightforward.
Like if you're near a fireplace or something and there's smoke.
Yeah, smoke entering your mouth, I guess smoking, or dust if you're like in a desert area and the dust goes in your mouth.
And smoke if you're near a factory or something and pollution.
Lying about Allah and the Masumeen. Now this doesn't mean that you could be a sinner. It means it could also break your fast if maybe there's something you don't know and you say. It's always better that if you don't know something, don't say it. Yes, yeah. Brother Hussain was right. You should try to find out what it is. You shouldn't just
find out more. Yeah, learn about the subject. See if it's true. Research about it. If it's true or if it's not. Look for all the if there's more articles. Look for however many you have. This one, then that's the right one. Because don't go for the other ones.
And like Brother Hussain mentioned, that's the only way to stay away from sinning and, like I mentioned, potentially breaking your fast. Another thing is keeping your tongue from lying. You should obviously stay away from lying during the month of Ramzan. Anytime you should stay away from lying. Lying is one of the keys to all evils. But especially in the month of Ramzan, this is something that could harm your fast. Not being jealous. If you're jealous of something or someone.
Oh yeah, this person has something that you want. Oh yeah, that's a very good thing. It's very expensive. Don't be jealous about it. Just pray for them or something.
And inshallah also pray that maybe you could get that. Don't be jealous of the person. Another thing is not backbiting or gossiping. Like I mentioned, these are things that you should stay away from on a normal day, but especially in the holy month of Ramzan, it is you have to keep a special eye out for that in the month of Ramzan. Like we mentioned earlier, backbiting and gossiping, these are severe sins, but on a normal day, we shouldn't do them anyway, but we should especially try to keep away from them in Ramzan. Not arguing. Not arguing with someone, that's also very important to stay away from in the month of Ramzan. Not swearing oaths, even if they are true. For example, not like, say, if you're good at something, or like I mentioned, if you know something's true. It's not good to swear oaths in the month of Ramzan. Definitely stay away from that. Not quarreling with one another. Not fighting with other people in this month. That's another thing that can harm your fast.
Don't get in a fist fight.
Yes. Not to abuse. Well, no fist fights, exactly. Not to abuse. Not being mean or miserly. Obviously, bullying people is bad on a normal day. So we shouldn't try to do this on a normal day. But especially, like I mentioned, in the month of Ramzan, where Allah rewards us so much. And this month is also you have to stay away from sin in this month. Staying away from things that Allah does not want us to do, because we are the guests of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
You shouldn't do it on a regular day either, but I don't know why you would try to do it in this month instead of regular.
And especially in the month of Ramzan, it was also said that it's better to stay away from doing sin than to do good deeds. Because if you start doing sin, you'll keep doing it. Pretty soon, it'll be worse than doing good deeds. So it's better to stay away from what Allah has forbidden than to do something.
And if you do a lot of bad deeds, but then you have a lot of good deeds, and you think, oh yeah, then I can still keep sinning, but I got to pay it back up with good deeds. You can't sin.
Another thing to stay away from is not being unjust or unfair in the month of Ramzan. You don't want to cheat anyone or treat someone unfairly. You should always treat people equally. Keeping your eyes away from that which is not allowed to look at. That's obviously another very important thing. So, like we mentioned, during the month of Ramzan, you're required to fast. So, Brother Hussain, what would you say is the best strategy that you would tell people to help them fast in the month of Ramzan?
Eat like a lot, or like be full, so like you feel like you have a lot of energy and you're full. So then you have energy for the rest of the day, and you won't like want to eat. So it helps you.
And one of the most important things to look out for in the month of Ramzan is that during Sehri time, Sehri and Iftar, make sure to have a lot of water. Water is one of the most important things for a person to have. So we should try to have a lot of water in the morning and in the nighttime. Brother Hussain, also, can you tell us the harm of having cold drinks or sodas when you break your fast?
It harms your kidneys, because like since you're dehydrated for the whole day, then it harms your kidneys. So stay away.
Yeah, so especially stay away from that. Even it's not good to have cold water, since your body didn't have water or food the entire day. You should stay away from that. So make sure to have, regular water. Make sure it's not like, don't put ice or anything.
But
and obviously,
don't make it like a cold temperature, but don't make it a hot temperature. Just make it like in between, so it's fine, a good temperature.
So, for example, when somebody breaks their fast, like we always mention, this is very important, that when somebody breaks their fast, make sure to try to, give them something to break their fast.
The person or water, drink of water.
Yes, like it doesn't have to be a full meal. It can be as little as a glass of water or a date to help somebody break their fast, and you get a lot of sawab for it. So it's a very good thing in the month of Ramzan, especially when people are required to fast, to break their fast with a date or some water, or even a fruit. What you have, whatever you have, just try to give to them. I'm going to now start by asking everyone, for the things I just said, some questions about the month of Ramzan.
If you're paying attention, these might be easy for you.
The first question is, what is the time of fasting called? What is the time of eating called before you break your fast? Is it called Sehri, Iftar, or brunch? If you'd like to call, please dial the number on the screen, which is 925-523-3766.
If you were paying attention, you will get this answer.
Another important thing to do in the month of Ramzan is to read Quran in the month of Ramzan. That's another important thing to do. Everyone should try to make time in their day, even 15 minutes. Put aside 15 minutes.
Or just one verse is equal to reading a whole Quran.
Yes, one verse is equal to reading a whole Quran in other months. So it's very good if we can, even 15 minutes aside, read even one verse. You gain a lot of sawab for it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is so generous. He's always generous, but especially in this month, that even little things we do, we get a lot of good deeds for it. That's why Ramzan is one of the holiest of months. Also, even when we breathe, we get sawab for it. So we should try to take full advantage of this, and we should try to do as many good deeds as we possibly can in this month. I'll repeat the question. What is the time of eating called before you break your fast? A. Sehri, B. Iftar, or C. Brunch? If you'd like to call, please dial the number on the screen, which is 925-523-3766. So, like we mentioned, things that could break your fast. Another thing that could break your fast is swearing, actual swearing. So, obviously, swearing on a normal day is bad, but especially in the month of Ramzan. Like there's many things we mentioned. These are normal sins. You're not supposed to do these on a normal day. Always, of course, try to stay away from these things. But especially in the holy month of Ramzan, where Allah gives us such a chance, we get so much extra sawab for the things that we do. It's good especially not to do in that month. And obviously, swearing also breaks your fast in the month of Ramzan. So say in other months, if we, do some bad stuff or something, especially in the month of Ramzan, you should try to refrain and do these things. So inshallah, on the day of judgment, our fasts will count.
You're still not supposed to do any bad things on a regular day. I mean, it's nothing less in Ramzan.
Yes, these are actual sins. These aren't, this isn't like, stay away from having apples. These are actual sins that give a lot of bad deeds.
It's not like it's a sin only in Ramzan that breaks your fast. It's the real sin. You can't do it on a regular day.
Like not backbiting or gossiping. This is one of the worst of the worst. If you do that on a normal day, make sure to stay away from that.
And a lie.
Lying, also another severe sin. So these are things to stay away from on a normal day, not just in Ramzan.
Murder.
Well, that's a normal sin. I'm going to repeat the question.
And the death penalty.
What is the time of eating called before you break your fast? Is it A. Sehri, B. Iftar, or C. Brunch? If you'd like to call, please dial the number on the screen, which is 925-523-3766. So, like me and Brother Hussain were mentioning, we were going over some strategies that if you're fasting for the first time or if you're fasting, important to do. For example, like we mentioned, a lot of water. Try at least 3 cups of water in the morning and, of course, at night. Obviously, there's 2 ways of doing it. The first way is stuffing yourself silly, which...
That's a good one.
It does technically work because you're not eating all day. That's one way. And the other way is having, fruits and vegetables. Like, a banana is very good. Apples, these are things that keep you...
Orange.
These are things that keep you good all day. So these are good things to have.
And a healthy salad.
We'll repeat the question. What is the time of eating called before you break your fast? A. Sehri, B. Iftar, or C. Brunch? Brother Hussain, we were talking about this earlier. Would you like to answer our question?
Yes. Is it A? Sehri.
That is incorrect. Would you like to try again? Or what is the time of eating called? Oh yeah, that is correct. Actually, isn't it iftar? Because the time of eating before you break your fast. Oh, that is correct. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. I did not read that correctly. Yes, that is correct. The name of the meal you have before you begin your fast is called sehri. Brother Hussain, would you like to ask our next question?
Yes. Prophet Muhammad recommended to eat or drink something before fasting, even fruit to get up drink.
If you'd like to call, please dial the number on the screen to 925-523-3766. You don't have to call in and answer the question. You can call in, and if you want to recite a surah, or maybe if you want to tell your experiences about fasting.
Or your strategies, how you try, how you get through the day.
Another one of my experiences while fasting was, there was one time, it was a Saturday, and in the morning I went to the park to play basketball, which is obviously hard to do in the morning when you're fasting. So I played for like 2 hours, and I was severely tired, of course. So, when we got back, I didn't know if I was going to be able to still fast or not. But alhamdulillah, I was still able to fast, because of course, when you're playing basketball, you lose so much energy. But I was still able to do it. So that was one of the harder fasts I had.
And you can also go to sleep the whole day.
Yes, since it was a Saturday, yeah. Brother Hussain, can you repeat the question?
Yes, Prophet Muhammad said, recommended to eat or drink something before fasting to get up a drink.
So like we were mentioning earlier, the importance of fasting. Fasting isn't just, something that, you're required to do. You can just miss it, make it up later. Like Brother Hussain mentioned, there's a lot of things that have to be done if you miss a fast and there's no valid reason. For example, a non-valid reason is, you just don't want to do it. Maybe you have to go to school and do a test or something, and you think, fasting, I have a headache. You don't want to do it. You're not allowed to do that. That's not a valid reason. Obviously, like we mentioned, if someone is sick, or if they were unable to do it for a valid reason, then they won't have to. But if it's an invalid reason, you will be required to, like Hussain and I mentioned, 3 things. The first is you would have to free a slave if you miss a fast intentionally.
Which there is no slaves nowadays.
So that's not possible to do. You would have to fast for 60 days to repay 1 fast, which is 2 months. That's another thing.
So if you miss,
let's be honest.
At least 10 fasts, you're going to have to do like 20 months.
Yeah, 60 days, that's not possible, let's be honest. And the third thing, which is the only option, is to feed 60 people. So we see the importance of fasting, and obviously if you miss a fast, you'll never have the chance to pay that up again, really, even if it's a valid reason. You'll never really be able to pay it up. You'll never get the sawab that you could have gotten from fasting that day.
Yeah, you can't get the same sawab that you get in Ramadan, because you have to fast every day in Ramadan unless you're sick, and you still have to repay it, but you still won't get as much sawab as you had before.
Another thing that's very important to do in the month of Ramadan is reading our namaz on time. This is another thing that on a normal day we should be doing. We should always try to read our namaz on time, but especially in the holy month of Ramadan, just like, for example, like I mentioned earlier, Quran. In the month of Ramadan, you get you get the reward of reading a whole Quran. So obviously in the month of Ramadan, we should try to read our namaz on time as well, because there's a huge amount of sawab. Brother Hussain, can you repeat the question?
Yes. Prophet Muhammad recommended to eat or drink something before fasting, even to get up a drink.
A drink of blank. Brother Hussain, can I answer this question?
Yep.
Is the answer water?
That is correct.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa sallam.
Brother Syed,
Yes, that is correct. It is recommended to drink,
water.
Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam recommended to eat or drink water. Well, not eat, drink water. Even if it's a glass of water to, give to someone. Swam or fasting means to keep away from certain things from dawn to A, noon, B, dinner, or C, sunset. If you'd like to call, please dial the number on the screen, which is 925-523-3766. So, like we mentioned, when you first start out fasting, it may be a little harder to do. When you first start out, maybe for the first time, or you haven't really fasted that much.
Because then once you do that, because once you get through the few days, then you get experience. So then you know how to, how you get, be able to, how strategies, different types of ways to do it.
And of course, your body gets used to it, because during maybe the first days, you'll start getting headaches and stuff because you're used to eating during that time. But after the first few days, then you'll be used to it, and, it'll be easy for you to fast.
And don't be a dirty sinner.
Yes, there's many things to not do in the month of Ramadan, like we mentioned, that could potentially break your fast. So, repeat the question. Swam or fasting means to keep away from certain things from dawn to A, noon, B, dinner, or C, sunset. Brother Hussain, do you know the answer to this question?
Sunset?
That is correct. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa sallam. Yes, that is correct. Psalm or fasting means to keep away from certain things from dawn to see sunset. Brother Hussain, would you like to ask our next question?
Yes. A Muslim who has reached blank must fast in the month of Ramadan. A, baligh, B, 10 years, C, 20 years.
If you'd like to call, please dial the number on the screen, which is 925-523-3766. So, as we were saying, fasting starts in the morning. You have sehri, then, you wait, and then at the night, you have iftar. Brother Hussain, do you have any other experiences or maybe it was hard for you to fast during that day, but you were able to, go through it? Do you have any examples?
The first day I was feeling sick, oh yeah, I'm severely hungry. But then once I got near a few days like today, now I'm not really that sick. Now I'm not feeling sick. I'm just going to get through it.
And also, when you first start fasting, iftar time seems so far away and, that you're hungry. But when you fast for a couple of days,
it goes fast.
Yeah, then it goes fast for you, and you feel like it's easier to, go from sunrise to sunset without eating. So I'll repeat Brother Hussain, could you repeat the question?
Yes. A Muslim who has reached blank must fast in the month of Ramadan. A, baligh, B, 10 years, or C, 20 years. And if you'd like to call and read a dua or share your experience or strategies of how you get through the day, you can call by putting on the number on the screen, which is
925-523-3766. So we mentioned the things that you have to stay away from, and also in this month we should try to improve our manners and we should try to improve ourselves during this month, because as we know, during this month Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us so much that even when we do astaghfirullah rabbi wa tubu ilayh, we get Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes away more sins. So we should try to do that as much as possible to try to take away during our sins during this month, and inshallah, improve ourselves. So that if we read, inshallah, during this month if we read Quran or something. Inshallah, if we read, Quran during the entire month, maybe the habit will go on to the next month. So in the month of Ramazan, it's really the month to improve yourself during everything, even, reading your namaz on time. Reading your namaz on time during the month of Ramazan is the best opportunity to, be able to do that in other months. So really improve your character and improve everything during this month.
And during the month of Ramazan, it's good to do sajda longer.
Yes, you should really try to prolong your sajda during this month. As you know, the best time to do sajda is while the azan, during the azan. That's when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala really answers your prayers. Well, that's one of the times, obviously.
And at Fajr too.
Yeah, Fajr is another important time. Brother Hussain, could I answer this question?
Yes.
Is the answer A, baligh?
Yes, that is correct.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa jafajun. Yes, that is correct. A Muslim who has reached baligh must fast in the month of Ramazan.
Would you like to ask the next question?
Sure. This is the last question of the day. The question is, which one of the following actions voids your fast? A, eating intentionally. B, sleeping. Or C, crying. If you'd like to call, please dial the number on the screen, which is 925-523-3766.
And you don't have to answer the question. If you don't want to answer the question, you can also tell us about your experiences or your strategies, or read a dua.
And this question, earlier we went over the things that should not be done during the month of Ramazan that could potentially void your fasting. So we mentioned these things to stay away from during the month, so this should be an easy question.
If you were paying attention.
So, as I mentioned, we should try to improve ourselves during this month. We should try to improve our taqwa during this month so that, inshallah, like I mentioned, it goes over to other months. In this month, for example, if we, like I said, reading namaz on time, reading Quran, this overall improves our character. And inshallah, if, the coming months, it would help you do in that month too. And overall, you'll be able to do it easier. Like, for example, maybe some people aren't able to read Quran every day. They don't have the tawfiq to read Quran every day. So in this month, if you, inshallah, read Quran every day, you'll be able to do it in those other months. So that's a very important thing to improve your character.
And for fasting, it gives you experience. For the first days, you kind of get like a headache. You feel a little sick, a little drowsy, stuff like that. And you have like no energy. And then like in the next few days, you'll get experience. You'll be experienced, be easy for you, and your body gets experienced, won't feel sick.
And Brother Hussain, I'm not sure about you, if you could tell us, but for me personally, I feel like you're able to do, when you're fasting, you're able to do more things. Do you feel that as well? Is there anything you can...
Yeah, it gives you more time in your day, because usually you use your time to eat, like you use time eating, cooking, stuff like that. But when you're fasting, you have you free up space, so you have more time to do. You read Quran, namaz, prayers, anything.
And for example, on a normal day, people are thinking so much about what am I going to eat, what am I going to eat, for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But when you're fasting, you don't think about that. So you have plenty of time to, like Brother Hussain mentioned, do Quran. Maybe your namaz on time even, and so many other things. And, you actually it feels like you have more energy. Obviously you don't eat, but you're able to do more things, and you're able to be more productive when you're actually fasting. So that's a very important thing.
And don't, waste all your energy in, one thing. So, you try to conserve your energy so it doesn't go out so quickly. And then you'll have energy to do anything in your day, so help.
Brother Hussain, would you like to answer this question?
Yes. What's the question?
The question is, which one of the following actions voids your fast? A, eating intentionally, B, sleeping, or C, crying?
Sleeping is definitely not one, because it's not the answer, definitely, because we said it's a strategy if you sleep all day on Saturdays and Sundays.
But sleeping can, break your wuzu, but not your fast. So.
Yes. And eating intentionally. Yeah,
Yes, that is correct. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wajhi fajrum. Yes, that is correct. The thing that can void your fast is A, eating intentionally. Of course, like we mentioned, there's a difference between eating intentionally and eating on purpose. So eating intentionally is obviously, intentionally and unintentionally. Obviously, eating intentionally is something that can obviously void your fast. The point is to not eat, so if you eat, it's very clear. That's all the time we have left for today. Thank you for everyone who participated in our program. Now we're going to do Allahumma kulli waliyaka for the people in the world starving and in need. Allahumma kulli waliyaka al-hujjat ibn al-Hasan salawatuka alayhi wa ala abai fi hadhihi as-sa'a wa fi kulli sa'a waliyan wa hafidha wa qa'idan wa nasira wa dalilan wa aina حتى تسكنه أرضك طوى وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. Once again, thank you for everyone who participated in our program. Please join us next time on another exciting episode of Velayat Kids. Assalamu